Hey guys, Kiwi here. Today I wanted to discuss Morgan and Benjamin from the Kingdom and how their story is being set up in Season 7 of The Walking Dead. So in episode 702 we get the introduction of a thriving community called the Kingdom, along with one of their soldiers, Benjamin. Benjamin is inspiring to be an important part of the Kingdom's hierarchy, but he still has much to learn. We actually first see him walking the horse with his little brother on it as he waves to Morgan in the intro. We also see him practicing taking out a walker during the run to feed their pigs, but it looks like he hasn't been too successful yet. The leader of the kingdom, King Ezekiel, takes notice to Morgan's Aikido skills during the run, and once they get back, he sparks up a conversation with him about it. Ezekiel heavily insists that Morgan teaches Benjamin how to defend himself.
The man I shot to save Carol. The stick couldn't have saved him.
Has it saved you?
Yeah.
He says that Ben will become an important member of his court one day. He says he needs him alive and he wants him to succeed. Morgan eventually accepts this as we then see a montage of him training Benjamin in the gazebo. Morgan doesn't really enjoy the idea of training Ben at first, and seems to lack the confidence as a teacher, as this is his first time trying to do so. Ezekiel watches proudly as they go over the basics, Ben eager to learn and Morgan getting the hang of the whole idea. Afterwards, Ben notices the book about Aikido. This is the same book that Eastman threw in Morgan's cell back in 604 during his rehabilitation. Morgan tries evading it but gets cut off by Ben as he explains that he is craving for anything new with pages on it to read.
I've just read every book in this place, twice, including an air conditioning repair textbook. Just so you know, the #1 problem with an HVAC system is refrigerant leaks. Yeah, won't spoil that one for you.
This book is obviously really important and personal to Morgan. He decides to let him read it, probably wondering what he will think of it for himself. In the cafeteria, we see Ben talking to his little brother trying to parent him, admitting shortly after to Morgan that he only half knows what he's doing. This leads to the topic of Ben's father, who passed away about a year ago. He was tight with Ezekiel, so they were close as well. He was also a strong fighter, one of the best in the kingdom in fact. Apparently, Ezekiel sent out a group of men to clear out a building, but there were too many walkers inside. His dad, along with 7 other men from the kingdom, didn't make it out. There are 2 immediate answers that come to my mind when I hear this story. The first is that the walkers in the building were possibly a result of the horde from the beginning of Season 6. When Daryl, Sasha, and Abe lured half of them away from Alexandria, they eventually got ambushed by the Saviors and had to split up. Is this because the Saviors were in the Kingdom's territory, possibly scouting the area for them or other communities? All Rick's plan was to lure them away from Alexandria, leading them in a different direction. They even questioned this at one point, realizing that the Horde will have to be someone else's problem. Did that possibly foreshadow Ben's father? The only thing is that I believe only a few months has gone by, not a whole year. That leads us to the second option, which is that Ben's father was in fact Ezekiel's original right-hand man, or at least one of them. Is it possible that his father died in the result of a confrontation with the Saviors, or even Negan and Lucille? Ben says that 8 men died on this trip in total, so how would that play into the story? I doubt that Negan really bashed 8 skulls in at once, right? Did he really? Either way, this conversation about Ben's dad leads directly into them mentioning the Saviors and how Ezekiel wants to keep them a secret from the community, as he actually believes that the people want to revolt. This is why the meetings take place outside of the kingdom as a part of his terms with the sanctuary. Ezekiel believes that they wouldn't stand a chance of winning even if they tried, and that this is his best option for his people. Morgan asks Ben's opinion on it, if Ezekiel is making the right decision or not to fight. To which he says that he doesn't know enough to answer that, but maybe Morgan does. Ben then asks him about Eastman's writing on the first page of the Aikido book, and I was hoping for a conversation about this. Ben starts explaining all the little clues he's been noticing about Morgan's lifestyle, and asks Morgan what he believes in, along with what he should believe in for himself. Morgan cuts off this idea of telling Ben what to do by explaining that you have to find your own path and your own morals. You can try and drill an idea into someone's head, but no matter what you do or say, they won't believe it unless that person finds a reason in it for himself. That may take a day, that may take a week, it may take years, it may take 10 years down the road, and they'll think back to that moment in a completely different way. You never know. It doesn't matter to Morgan how you are making it work, as long as you are making it work. He used to push his views on people as much as he could back when he first got to Alexandria, but he's learned to keep it to himself for the most part and let people do them. Just because he doesn't agree with someone else's decisions doesn't mean that they are wrong, as long as it helps people live. If you are doing what helps your community grow in a positive way at the end of the day, then maybe it is an acceptable way of doing things. Morgan admits that he's just fumbling through the world on his own, and he's no mastermind that knows the true way to go about things. He thought he had it, but after the wolves and the saviors and Carol, he definitely has more thinking to do about where he stands. During the kingdom's run-in with the saviors, Morgan actually pulls his gun out and points it, but then looks at it confused and concerned, as if he didn't want to do it, but it was just an impulse action. There is so much thrown in the air after this episode, and I am intrigued to get more answers. I honestly don't know when we will see the kingdom next, but I hope it doesn't take too long, as I am really quite enjoying this entire side of the storyline.
Is that why you wanted me here? Because I could do it again if I had to?
No, Morgan. Quite the opposite, in fact.
What do you guys think about it all? What really happened to Ben's dad? Will the kingdom eventually hint at the idea of standing up to the saviors? And what is your opinion of Morgan after we have gotten a slightly more clear perspective of his beliefs, along with his outlook on the current society? Be sure to hit that like button if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, and feel free to subscribe for more Season 7 videos of The Walking Dead. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.